Hello, hi, ladies and gents. Welcome once again to another live stream with myself, Jono. Today it's the history of shirts, specifically men's shirts. So we've got a lot to get through and also some fantastic products as well to talk about. So just want to kick off. I'm currently in New York, finally. Obviously, the last show was in Mexico. Now I'm in New York, and I'm very thankful to be here. So thank you very much for having me. Um, Beautiful day out as well, so can't complain. And actually, it's very apt that it's such lovely weather because, of course, we're talking about shirts and specifically summer shirts in general. So I have a number of products to live stream for you today. We'll be going over them, but I thought I'd start with a shirt by a brand called Onia, and it is the Camp Stretch Chambray shirt. So again, it's a printed shirt, and a lot of these shirts, by the way, they're all sort of basically around the Hawaiian theme. So there's lots of floral patterns, and I always think that it's nice to have a little bit of a mix up in regards to your shirt collection. And make sure you have a lot of like bold prints because we are still to an extent in summer, at least for hopefully another month. So again, a lot of these shirts are also on sale at the moment as well, which is a nice thing because it's always good to save a couple of pence in your pocket. Bear in mind, guys, just to let you know that there is obviously the 15% off live stream deal. So all these shirts, they do have a discount, an added discount on them of 15% until I believe half an hour after the show. Don't count me on that one, but if you do please want to buy any of the shirts and you want to save a bit of cash, then you can do so. Any comments, please do leave them in the comment box description down below. And also, I'm always very thankful for any of your heart notifications that you give me. They're always a good thing for me. So any questions about anything I talk about or any of the products, please do let me know as well. So anyway, so as I said, this is the Onia Camp Stretch Chambray shirt. So chambray is a very interesting material in itself because it has a sort of almost like a natural wick element to it. So again, these shirts are very good for if you've just been at the beach or you're just coming out the pool and maybe you need to recover from your sunburn. You probably want to stick one of these shirts on, but at least you know that they're quite quick drying as well, which is really, really important because when you are away in hotter climates, you kind of want to be able to breathe a bit as well, and you use your clothes to do that as well. So this print here is, as I said, it's a navy-based background, and it has a floral pattern design to it. So as I said, a lot of the shirts we're talking about today on today's show have more of a floral pattern, and actually, I've got a few here as well. So this is from my collection. So this is one of my Hawaiian shirts here. I think actually I've worn this on the show before. So if you are aware, this is one of my Hawaiian printed shirts, and actually I've had this for a number of years. To be fair, I believe I bought this in Japan, so it's stuck with me and it stayed with me. And actually, funny enough, to this day I still do get compliments. And I've got another one here which I actually bought last summer, and it's a yellow one. And again, I think why not be a little bit bolder? I'm always an advocate for men's fashion and just sort of wearing slightly bigger, bolder, more colourful prints. And why not when the weather's so beautiful? I'm going to move on to the next product now, and it's actually by the same company. Now, this is a New York-based company called Onia, and they are founded by Carl Kunoff, I believe his name is, and Nathan Rowan. So they are based in New York, which is very relevant because obviously that's where I'm currently live streaming from. And this is another shirt that they currently have in their collection, which is the Vacation Bold Floral shirt. And again, it's a pigment printed stretch chambray shirt. Again, it's very bold graphic color, and it's perfect for, as I said, going on holiday. If you're having any last minute resort type holidays, then a lot of these shirts are fantastic for that. I am obviously drinking a cup of tea, as I always do during the show. Very happy to be doing that as well. So, yeah, as I said, guys, there is that 15% off live stream deal still going on. So please do take advantage of that if you see fit. Obviously, this show is called the short or concise history of men's shirts, and I thought I'd kick off by talking about the invention of the shirt. So originally, actually, shirts date back to ancient Egyptian times. And I know I've talked to you about this museum before, but there is a very small museum about Egyptology in London, in Holborn. It's on the University of City London campus, and they actually have the world's oldest shirt, which I believe, don't count me on this, but I believe is over 3,000 years old. And it is, no irony, but it is Egyptian cotton as well. So you can see that. And actually, to be fair, the history of the shirt hasn't really changed much in regards to its development over the past, 3,000 years. So you can go, it's a free museum, you can go there and you can go and see the world's oldest shirt. They also do have the world's oldest pair of socks as well. So whilst you're there, why not tick 2 boxes instead of 1 and go and see both? So obviously, as I said, to the beginning of the shirt dated back from ancient Egyptian times, and I believe this shirt was found. I think it was found in a mummy's sarcophagus. Actually, don't hold me on that, but that's why I believe it was preserved so long. But obviously, the modern interpretation of the shirt really dates back to the 18th century, where a lot of shirts had a lot of filigree and interesting, intricate flourishes and very large, stiff collars. It's very much based on sort of the French aesthetic of the time, which obviously that sort of really impacted the world. It wasn't until a little later on in history that the British took over, and they sort of pared down the shirt and simplified it. And obviously, I know we've spoken about this chap before, but Bew Brummell, the famous dandy of London and Piccadilly, wore a very sort of, as I said, pared down and simplistic look. And to accommodate that as well, he had a very simplistic but bold shirt. So that's essentially the start of the modern era shirt. And traditionally, only the wealthy wore white shirts. And that's partly because they had the ability and the means to be able to clean them. And this is where the idea of the monogram started. So I don't know if you can see, I don't know if I have one here actually, but there are some shirts that you can buy, and as an added addition, you could include your monograms. Obviously, mine would be JN, so my initials, and you would have that on the sleeve. And the idea of the monogram is that when you were getting your shirts cleaned, i.e., publicly, that your shirt wouldn't be confused with someone else's. So they knew that, oh, right, that's Jono's shirt that has JN on the cuff. So that's where that originated from. But it actually did become a trend, and it was certainly a status symbol as well. And actually, that is still relevant today to an extent, that men of a certain wealth and status will get their shirts monogrammed. You could also have your monogram on the patch pocket as well. That's another option if you see fit. So I don't know if you'd want to be doing that with any of the shirts on the Verishop website. A lot of them also short sleeve, so you probably wouldn't be able to put them on your cuff, but the option is there if you want it. So I'm sure you can find it. When there's a will, always a way. So that was essentially the start of the modern shirt. Box below. I am here for another 20 minutes, so whatever you want to say, any comments or questions or anything, please do let me know. So also, I know we've spoken about before in regards to jackets, and of course that men in World War One, for instance, or physicians, when they needed to quickly attend to someone that's obviously wounded in the battlefield, they'd have to roll up their sleeves. But it was far easier if they were getting sleeves that had buttons attached to them, so they could uncouple the button and then quickly roll up their sleeve. And again, that's what we see here with this. So again, another fun fact. I know we talked about it before, but why not? I'm going to move on to the next product, by the way, and this is a brand called Audis. Audis, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it is a denim shirt. So I don't know where my denim shirt is today. Actually, I did try and look for it before, but denim as a shirt, I think, is really a practical material. I would highly recommend every guy should probably have one. Obviously, it's slightly more of a casual look as well, but it's sort of like perfect if you're going to meet some friends at a bar, or it's the weekend and whatnot, and you're going for maybe a park date. It's always worth having a decent linen shirt, and of course, they're also very easy to be able to wash as well, which is really important. And a lot of denim, actually, as you know, with jean wear as well, does tend to sort of fade when you wash it over time and you wear it often. So I always quite like that sort of more washed denim look. And this product definitely seems to sort of tick that box. And I'm sure certainly over time that color, there will come more of a gradient as well. So definitely, if you don't already, I would invest in a very good denim shirt. And actually, to be fair, guys, like this price, like, with the discount in total, is about just over $30. So it's certainly worth looking into a shirt like this. And also, it's a steal. It's a Sunday steal. So do look into that. It is also, I believe, on sale. Well, there you go. You got the 15% off. So it was $40, and now it's $30.56. It does say it's 100% cotton though. So I'm quite interested. Hopefully, maybe I'll get my hands on one of these products at one point. So do look into that. I'm going to move on and talk about the reason, and actually this is relevant now. I'm going to talk about the reason why we have the terminology, especially in America, of blue collar and white collar workers. And that is because I believe a newspaper in the 1920s in the Midwest noticed that a lot of laborers were wearing either denim or a collared cuff, or a collared collar rather. And that's the reason why we call those people blue collar workers, because they were wearing blue collars. And obviously, if you're a white collar worker, you'd be like a desk clerk. And so you'd be wearing white because obviously that's generally more formal for that environment. And of course, you wouldn't want to wear white out in the field because you get it dirty very quickly. So, of course, those men would wear colors to sort of disguise the dirt. So that's the difference between blue collar and white collar workers. And that's where that terminology comes from. All from the shirt. Yet again, really fascinating. Also, in 1827, the detachable collar was invented by a lady called Hannah Montague, and she was an upstate New York housewife. So again, very relevant to where I'm currently live streaming from. And the reason why detachable collars became a thing is because I believe probably Hannah was a little bit upset about washing her bloke shirt every day. So it was a lot easier actually just to wash the collar rather than wash the whole shirt. So that's where detachable collars came from. Obviously, with the invention of like modern laundry and washing machines, the idea of wearing a detachable collar is essentially, bitten the dust, so to speak. But that's where that originated from. So a lot of Victorian men would wear just the collar to be taken off, but they would obviously always keep the shirt on because the collars generally where also a lot of dirt, sweat is generally collected. So fun fact for you there. I'm going to move on to the next product, and it is by one of my favorite brands that's stocked by Verishop, and it is the Hugo Boss men's rhythm shirt. And it was originally $128. It is now 108. So again, it's that 15% off, which I believe you can still get for the following half an hour after the show, or if, as you see, feel and wish, you can also purchase it now as well. So again, this is sort of more of a rust color, which I really, really like. And also it does have a patch pocket, which, to be fair, I've always found very, very convenient, to be fair, to be having that sort of patch pocket, because sometimes, if you need to like maybe keep a couple of business cards, for instance, or maybe a credit card, if you don't have maybe wide enough pockets to be able to carry a wallet on you, then it's always nice to be able to have that as an added addition and embellishment. And of course, like, I know we've spoken about this before, but I'm always a massive fan of, the devil being in the detail. So it's all, for me, men's clothing has also always been about just the little added embellishments as well, but they're always for more of a practical utilitarian purpose. And certainly having a patch pocket on one shirt does that. So this does have that, and I believe it is also, well, I mean, again, Hugo Boss, fantastic brand. They're certainly, in regards to quality, I would say one of those brands that, if you're going to invest the money in a decent summer shirt, I would probably highly recommend this. And actually, I think this is probably my live stream shirt of the season. So you've got that first here, guys. I think for me, out of all the shirts we've spoken about before, I think this is probably the one that I would purchase. And again, it's just a really nice, like, traditional and classic palm print, and that's something you can't go wrong with. And the one thing I would also say is, in regards to Hawaiian shirts in general, they tend to never really go out of fashion. I would always, for summer, having a couple of Hawaiian shirts on me at all times, as I showed you earlier. And actually, even the shirt that I'm currently wearing now, well, it's more of sort of like a bowling aesthetic, the shirt I'm wearing now, but it certainly sort of fits into that sort of line, I would say, or realm rather. So yeah, so this is the Hugo Boss men's rhythm shirt. It's currently $108. It was originally $128. So if you feel free, it's there, guys. And I think, as far as I'm concerned, currently this is my top pick shirt. We were talking obviously about detachable collars, and that was in the 1820s. So staying with the collar theme, actually, polo players apparently invented the button-down collar. So obviously, as you know, I don't know if I've got a shirt here to show you actually, but a lot of shirts, they can have the option of having a button-down collar, and generally, I actually don't prefer, if it's a certain type of shirt, I do tend to prefer a good button down. I think there's an element that can be smarter as well. Obviously, there's a whole language with collars as well. I mean, I know when I know we talked about this before, but when I used to work in men's suit shops in London, in Piccadilly, we would have different types of collars. So, for instance, one of the types of collars that you can also buy is something called a breakaway type collar. And generally, this would be found in work shirts. And it's sort of almost like a more wider collar, and they've sort of, as I said, it was slightly more open, but you can sort of buy collars as well that are slightly more pointed, and obviously, as I said, a button-down collar. So yeah, so apparently, and I didn't know this, but apparently polo players invented button-down collars. And I mean, obviously, again, it's always about practicality, because, if you're on a horse and you've got a mallet and you're swinging the mallet around, and, the horse is galloping, you don't really want to have like intricate or unnecessarily flappy collars. So that's the reason why we have button-down collars from polo players. So yeah, just to sort of round up again, in regards to, if you're just joining in now, the history of the shirt originated in ancient Egyptian times with Egyptian cotton. 3,000 years old. There's a shirt in London that you can still go and see. And as I said, it's actually very sort of, I mean, it is 3,000 years old, you can definitely tell, but it is still in relatively good condition. So you could go and see it. And as I said, if you're going to go and see in this museum, you should also go and see the world's oldest pair of socks that they also have there. So as I said, ancient Egypt, the start of the shirt. It wasn't really until the 18th century the modern invention of the shirt began with, obviously, I know we've spoken about them before, but the modern British dandy, Beau Brummell, who is, his statue actually is situated on Jermyn Street in Piccadilly, which is where I used to work. So next time you're in London, guys, you can tick all these boxes and go and see all these, like, landmarks and museums, such as Beau Brummell's statue. And please do pay your respects, because, he certainly did move fashion forward in regards to sort of paring things down and making things a little bit more simplistic. We also talked about the reason why there's a difference in the terminology and the invention of the terminology of blue and white collar workers. We spoke about that. And also, we just very briefly spoke about, in 1827, the detachable collar was invented by a New York upstate housewife who was probably a little bit tired in regards to washing her husband's shirt. Talking back to shirts, I'm going to go on to the final product. And I'm going to present this to you now, and it is by a brand called PX, and it's the Kai Rayon shirt, and it's currently going with the live stream deal for $41.79. $65, originally $49. So please do check this one out. And again, like, I just really like the print on this. There's something very like classic and tailored to having like a nice Hawaiian shirt. I mean, I know in print terminology, in textiles, we would call a print like this, well, it would be a tropical, but it would also be called a hero print as well, or like like a status type print, because it's slightly larger and slightly more emblazoned and bolder. But again, I think like the colors can work really well. And I would certainly wear a shirt like this, maybe with some denim, some sort of lighter denim, like denim shorts, for instance. Or maybe as this chap's wearing, I can't really see what he's wearing. I think you could also wear some good khaki as well and beige with a type of shirt like this, because again, it's sort of staying with that type tropical theme there. So yeah, so as I said, it's the Kai rayon shirt, and it's currently going for $41.65, and that is obviously with the 15% off live stream deal. So if again you are in a need for any of these shirts right now, and maybe potentially you're going luckily on a last minute vacation and you feel like you need to purchase a new shirt, then definitely I would look into all of these in regards to the Verishop site. And that is, yeah, so that's the PX Kai Rayon shirt. And, you know, to be fair, like all of the products that I'm talking about, as I mentioned earlier, Hawaiian shirts are very much always in vogue. Like, I would always suggest buying a Hawaiian shirt because, you know, obviously you'll get the benefit of wearing it for the rest, hopefully, if we have maybe another month of summer, but you can put it away, and then next summer as well, or even the end of spring, for instance, if it's really nice, you can definitely get them out of your closet again. And, you know, I mean, these prints never really go out of fashion. So I would always highly recommend, if you are in the need for a good summer shirt, then I would look at more of a Hawaiian and tropical print shirt. Also, it's just a bit of fun, you know. I mean, you know, when there's blue sky and the sun's out and you can sip a cocktail on the beach, why not do so in a nice Hawaiian shirt? You know, as you guys know from my last previous stream, I was in Mexico for just over 2 weeks by myself, interestingly, in a resort, and I certainly did a lot of that, sipping margaritas on the beach. I still think I'm a little bit burned, so I have to be a bit careful nowadays, guys. And obviously, I know that Verishop stock a lot of products in regards to moisturizer, so maybe potentially I should look into that, and maybe some sunscreen, because I know we've spoken about this before, but sunscreen is very important to make sure, you know, that you don't get too overly burnt, which is obviously what I've done. So anyway, moving back to what we're talking about today, which is obviously shirts. So I'm just gonna, I guess, do a recap for the last couple of minutes of the live stream. And once again, guys, thank you very much for joining me here. It's always a pleasure to do the half an hour show with you. I believe I will be back at the same time, same place next week on the app. So please do stay tuned, because I'm sure I'm going to have many more fun facts for you in another area of dress and fashion. And actually, you know, if you want to suggest anything to me in the comment box below in regards to any themes of shows, or maybe I could revisit a show that I've previously talked about before. So I know obviously we did the show on socks, which went really well, and we did the one on suits as well relatively recently. And actually, you know, going back to June, you know, obviously we did the ones about accessories and hair care. And, you know, we were talking about the macaronis, the dandies of the day, and the way that they used to style and pomade their hair. So I can obviously revisit a lot of those topics as well. I might actually do a show where maybe we sort of like do the best of everything. I sort of like highlight like maybe a couple of my fun facts and a couple of my favorite products on the Verishop site. And maybe we'll do that next week, just sort of like round things off. So anyway, as I said, any suggestions, please do put them in the comment box below in regards to like further upcoming future shows. And as I said, it's always an absolute pleasure being here on the Verishop site. So we did talk about a number of different shirts today. We spoke about the Onya, I believe that's the pronunciation of that brand, and they are a New York-based company by Carl Cunoff and Nathan Ramon. We talked about the Vacation Bold floral shirt, and also the Camp Stretch Chambray shirt, the navy one that we spoke about earlier. We also spoke about the shirt that's currently on the screen right now, which is the PX Kai rayon shirt, which, as you know, is going for $41. It's that 15% off live stream discount. We spoke about the Hugo Boss men's rhythm shirt. It's that rust copper. Again, they all have these Hawaiian prints. That does come with a patch pocket as well. And we spoke about the Ardis So Denim mass shirt. And again, I would highly recommend you guys invest in a good denim shirt. You know, denim, as always, is a very utilitarian, easy to wear, easy to wash material. And denim, as well, as you know, I mean, it does depend on the hue of the denim, but it is pretty much all seasonal, to be fair. You know, there's not really a season that you would struggle to wear denim in, unless it's incredibly hot or incredibly cold. It's those extremes. But generally, if you live in a cosmopolitan city, it's worth investing in good pieces of denim. And yeah, again, I mean, that's not to say that you can't invest in a good denim shirt as well as jean wear. Interestingly, I don't know if we've done one on. I mean, we've done so many of these shows and streams now. I don't know if we've done one on denim jean actually, and maybe jean jackets as well. That's something that I would actually love to do. So maybe we should do that on the next stream. So as I said, if you guys, if you're very favourable and you want to know about denim, then I could certainly do a good show on that. You know, I, as always, go down a lot of like YouTube rabbit holes. And there's this one guy who goes down abandoned gold mines, you know, mines that have been shut off for, say, 100 or so years, 120 years. And he goes into these old, I mean, it's terrifying as well because they're like some of these mines are incredibly unstable and, you know, dusty and whatnot. Obviously, you don't know what's down there. But he sources denim, Victorian denim. So, of course, you know, Levi's, the established brand that they are, they've been going for like 120 years. He goes down these mines and finds these old workers' jeans and then sells them for like serious amounts of money. And of course, like, you know, they're like the original Levi denim jean because they usually have a, well, they don't have the belt loops actually, because obviously men back in the day, they used to have the you know the straps. It was like a dungaree. So anyway, maybe we could go and talk about. Maybe we could do a denim show. That's a good idea actually. And actually, as you know, because it's coming up to fall in the near future, hopefully not too soon. I quite like the weather as it is now. Maybe that's worth investing in as well because you know people do tend to buy denim as obviously the winter months get colder, but generally you can wear denim, as I said, all year round. So top tip, maybe. We'll wait, we'll see. It's always a pleasant surprise. Just gonna go like cycle through the products one more time for you as we're coming, unfortunately, to an end of the show again. But we spoke about the Onya, New York-based brand by Carl Konoff and Nathan Romano. It was the Vacation Bold Floral shirt. It was the pigment printed stretch chambray, and also with the same brand, it's the Camp stretch chambray. It's the navy shirt. We talked about the products currently on screen now, which is the PX Kai rayon shirt, the Hugo Boss men's rhythm shirt. It's that rust copper with the patch pocket on the front, and also, you know, the shirt that we just spoke about in regards to the denim. It's the Ardis So Denim mass shirt, and that is also 100% cotton. So, as I said, guys, if any of these shirts have taken your fancy today, please do utilize the 15% off live stream deal that's currently on. And I believe that deal will still be on for the next half an hour. So don't hold me on that, but I believe that is still the case. So any of the shirts on today's show, you can get that deal. And I think you should. It's always worth investing in a really, really good status print shirt. So as I said, I believe this is kind of towards the end of the show now, unfortunately. These shows go so quick. I always love doing them. It's been absolutely wonderful doing this for the past, how long has it been now? Like 3 months or something? 4 months? I think it was like mid-June, I think we started this. And hopefully you guys have learned a lot, and I certainly have as well. So this has been the short history of the men's shirt. I will be back at the same time, same place next week. It's 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be once again here in New York. and I certainly will see you guys there. Once again, thank you so much for watching in regards to the live stream. It's always a pleasure. It's always incredibly fun. I certainly know my friend Adrienne loves doing them as well. I know her show was like a couple of hours ago, Wake Up with Adrienne. And as I said, this has been the short history of the men's shirt. Once again, guys, have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you at the same time, same place next week on the Verishop live stream app. But for now, though, wish you all the best and happy Sunday. Bye-bye.